range. And in my opinion, these two champions that they have just cheat the tempo of the game, just so important for them here.
We talk a lot about priority. We're talking a lot about the Varus that's supposed to be stolen away by FENNEL University. They need this as one of the potential win conditions, and because they need to play bot side. Bot side has to kind of open up space, not draw too many resources away, while you enable power in the Baron lane. And that looks like what FENNEL University are going for, but great calls from Flash Rolls, because I like what they're doing here. They're going for some decent engage, some decent damage, while having some tankiness by grabbing the Xin Zhao and the Gragas early on.
This does mean, unfortunately, that we will not be seeing Show on either Orianna or on the Brand pick that we were talking about. He's going to be on Ziggs, a lot of long range, and the Braum pick as well to make sure that the heavy, beefy tanker diver comp of Flash Wolves cannot get in and get on the
Oh, here we go.
No way, he's throwing down the gauntlet here.
Yeah, this is it. They're looking to contest this.
Yeah.
Flash Wolves pull away the Orianna, and I know Skibby, you were saying earlier on, you see Flash Wolves do this, we're looking to see if FENNEL University can respond in turn here.
Are they going to do it all? It's just a full wombo?
I don't know what this is here from Flash. Oh, I get it. It's going to be Yasuo Gragas bot lane.
Oh, Yasuo bot lane, you reckon?
It could be a Yasuo Gragas bot lane. Yeah, I think that's probably the play here. It could be a situation where they go for Ori bot lane, but I think Yasuo Gragas counters the Varus much better.
No, but then again, if you have Flash Wolves the Yasuo, you want to be able to block away a lot of the damage and a lot of the siege potential from Ziggs. So I think that Yasuo is also here to kind of go. So there's no opportunity to flex in those positions here, Mo.
That is true. There's a lot of flex potential from Flash Wolves, and this is why we love them, right? In their previous series as well, we talked about how effective their flex picks were. We're seeing that here again today. They're able to flex across multiple roles, and they're able to find the most effective matchups. They're getting counter picks here, even on blue side, and that's very impressive to see.
It's crazy. I mean, how often do we get to see this where you've got the first pick, but you also get in the counter pick too? And maybe that comes down to the fact that FENNEL University in their opening two picks went for the double ranged poke harass, right, with the Varus, with the Ziggs, are saying, look, this is how we want to play. We don't really want to fight you. We need to get ourselves a small little advantage. That could be through siege. That could be through just poke. That could be from retaking an objective, be it the dragon, the herald, whatever that may be. And then perhaps we can then follow things up with a concussive blow, with a cleanup crew, with a Kha'Zix and J4. Regardless, Flash Wolves, Bruce in particular, says, you think you're good at playing Orianna? You might have an 8-1 record, but I might just play it a little bit better. That aside, let's throw it to our casting team. It's Infinity and Riku. Take it away, guys.
Thank you very much, Skimmy. Welcome, everyone. I'm Infinity, and this is Riku. We're down into another upper bracket finals between the Flash Wolves versus FENNEL University. I'm excited, Riku. We saw their graph, we saw what composition they're doing, and I think this is going to be a banger of a series.
Yeah, Flash Wolves is just basically aiming for that scary 4-man of a wombo combo with the Orianna, Gragas, and setting up for the Yasuo. I think it's going to be very explosive and very easy to execute just because of how many ults that complements the last breath. So a little bit worried for FENNEL University because while they have that form of disengage, Varus, Ziggs, against that all-in team, they could be in big trouble.
Yeah, especially considering that Bruce has picking up Yasuo. Remember, for the viewers watching at home right now, this champion with this player has received 2 MVPs already. And I think this is someone that you need to look out for if you're FENNEL University.
Yeah, Bruce is, the player that doesn't need kills to get ahead and farm. He will side push the lanes from in top and bottom and get ahead in that gold. It's going to be insanely scary. But this time around, he has his friends. He has that setup with locking on the Orianna and as well as that Graga. So big knockups, big engage. And meanwhile, for FENNEL University, this is a big poke composition. You've got the Varus, you've got this Ziggs. So the biggest question is, will Flash Wolves be able to reach them? And whenever they do the mid lane poke, you have to make sure that both river sides are well visioned, or else Flash Wolves can set up a pincer and they can reach the backline.
Yeah, definitely, considering that you are quite squishy when it comes to the composition, and even Doming as well as a squishy jungler for FENNEL University. The only one that can frontline for FENNEL University is going to be Jarvan 4 and Braum at this point in time, because Ziggs and Varus doesn't really have that much escape route. Maybe Ziggs has his satchel charge, but Varus at this point in time doesn't really have anything to go away against Flash Wolves. And considering that Flash Wolves has Xin Zhao. Level 3, I think that's going to be something to take note of at 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Yeah, especially when we're talking about the Rift Sculler fights. Doming, Shaw, not exactly have the best time unless Shaw pre-pokes them beforehand and enters the fight. So we'll see how that goes. Flash Wolves in an all-in style will definitely win that, especially with our 3-man. Sarah level 3, Cookie level 3, Bruce level 3 as well with the Wind Wall will basically block any incoming of that poke. So look at them now forming this death squad. I feel like a dive is coming.
Yeah, look at Cookie, look at Bruce. There's a 3-man roam coming for Flash Wolves. They're jumping in under the turret. Flag and drag. Good engage. Good counter for power. Going for the 3-man knockup as well. Saves his life. Flash Wolves will fail to the tank top.
Really nice presence coming from Doming. They've seen this coming, pre-level 5. They might set up for a dive because power as a Jarvan 4, especially without Cataclysm, is going to be insanely vulnerable. Your only mobility skill would be your flag and drag combo, which of course you want to use to see if you can punish a dive later on. So level 5 will be the big next target mark for Flash Wolves to see if they can set up for Ysera. We saw the stats earlier. Most of the kills, 66. That's in the Renekton split push. But of course, now that Bruce is on this Yasuo, I feel like more of the kills, just because of the composition, of course they're going to set up for Bruce this time around.
Yeah, I mean, you have Gragas, right? You have Oriana. A lot of knockouts. And on top of all that, even Xin Zhao Ultimate has knockup as well. So I think these are all setups for Bruce. And I think if FENNEL Adversity can punish Bruce immediately in the early game and even the mid game, this could actually hinder him quite a lot and quite a bit to really outscale and outpower FENNEL Adversity in those late game fights, especially considering they have Ziggs and Varus as so much damage coming into their composition.
Yeah, exactly. We're talking about 3 items for Shaw later on. Even 2 items, actually, with the Luden's Echo plus the Rabadons. I feel like it is going to be definitely enough. For Danny, of course, more mana fully stacked is going to be very, very scary. Actually, early game, Danny can already be as relevant. So I can imagine the Mountain Drake fight in a minute will be absolutely scary. So for Flash Wolves, they cannot hesitate. They cannot do the Dragon Dance. If they need to go, they gotta go.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's something to take note. And also, you have to look at Danny almost locking into the Maramuni, considering the Flash Wolf doesn't really have that much sustainability except into the Baron lane. So Danny does not need to force out the Executioner's Calling to then go for the Maramuni. And so far, you have Flash Wolves still trying to engage top lane. They're going for the 1v2. Cataclysm now jumps in. That's a lock onto 2 as well. Flag and drag to go back away. Good flash coming in from Power. Saves his life.
Wow.
But look at Doming going in for the kill. That's going to be the first blood for FENNEL Adversity. Now Shaw wants to go for more. That's going to be Ziggs. So much squishy. No mana coming through. Flash is now going to be forced away. And last
Power
bit coming up. Bruce
Solo
is now getting the kill. That will be the 1-for-1 for both these teams.
That would have been beautiful. Look at this, though. Bruce still wants more. I don't think he's going to dive in. But that could have been beautiful for FENNEL Adversity. Really good read, but Shaw did not have any mana at all in that fight. So therefore, only enough for 1 sequence and then getting out. Biggest problem is Flash Wolves was pretty much healthy, and they will get this Rift Herald as well. They can open up topside and unlock Ysera to do more split push. That means FENNEL will have a huge problem, especially their split pusher will be Power. And we talked about this before. Power is the type that it's okay if he's not ahead in the lane. He can still stabilize and deal with a split push. But we're talking about Ysera. Big experience coming from the LoL PC scene, even during PCS.
Yeah, I mean, in that foundation and that knowledge gives you a little bit of an edge into these sort of playstyles. You have the information what to do next, specifically onto the top lane that we've seen a while ago, on how Flash Wolves went in for the 3-man roam, gave us space easily to go to Rift Herald, and we all know, especially without Tower First Blood as of yet, Rift Herald is just so valuable in this game. And Flash Wolves taking it down, I think, gives him a little bit more of an edge, but FENNEL Adversity taking the Mountain Dragon gives him sustainability for later on.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. It feels like Flash Wolves would, consider the Mountain Drake to have a lot more value just because of the shields, especially you're up against a poke composition. So FENNEL did a good job just sort of denying that mitigation away from Flash Wolves here. So with that said, I feel like the next move coming from Flash Wolves is definitely get the Rift Herald up top and then get a dive once more, put some kills onto Ysera, or rather for Bruce once the 4-man assembles. The second dragon fight is going to be very important, especially for Flash Wolves to set up these 4-man fights.
Definitely. And I think in those team fights, I think someone or champion that we need to take note of is going to be Power, how he set up Serafi to follow through and Danny and Shaw as well into the backsides. If they were able to bring that CC chain, Flash Wolves will definitely crumble down. But considering Flash Wolves also has a lot of mobility, that's going to be a problem for FENNEL adversity later on. As we're looking right now, Flash Wolves go for a 3-man roam. Top side, you also have 4-man coming from FENNEL adversity. Flash Wolves doesn't have any idea. Too much damage. Flash Wolves will go back away. Look at Cookie into the flank here. The 3-man against 1. Huge number disadvantage in Flash Wolves. Rift Herald into the mid lane. FENNEL needs to defend.
Yeah, I really like the discipline coming from FENNEL adversity. They saw Cookie. He was in range of a chain of corruptions coming from Danny. It could have been possibly a kill. Topside, another attempt on Power's life. But they fail as Doming and Rafi were there to deter another. That's the 3rd attempt already on Power's life.
You know what? Power is playing a minigame, as the panel has stated a while ago. Power is just playing miss, hit, miss, hit. But pretty much Flash Wolf is the attacker, then Power is the misser, if there's such a word.
I think there is a word, a misser.
A misser. Well, if there's none, we're going to put it onto the dictionary. But so far, right now, Flash Wolves going to the bot side. This is their strong side of the map, but you just have fast clear coming from shots. And so far, Flash Wolves does not get attacked for his blood.
No,
But
dear
here
me.
on top side, that's going to be the kill for Dom Meng. Good engage. Good kill for Dom Meng. FENNEL adversity takes the kill lead away from Flash Wolves.
What a dive coming from FENNEL adversity. Look at their approach to this. They know that Flash Wolves will constantly pressure Power just because they want to get a Sarah ahead. And Jarvan 4, a 3-man dive, pretty vulnerable. So I like the response coming from FENNEL adversity. When it comes to downtime of Flash Wolves not focusing top, they use that opportunity as that window to get through Isera, and look at him now. 0-2-0, not exactly what you like to see on a Renekton.
Definitely. And I think really something we have to consider is going to be, once again, Danny and Shaw for FENNEL adversity because of the clear wave potential for this team. And the only one that can match it up for Flash Wolves is going to be Bruce and Locking to clear that waves down. But the problem with the Yasuo is you have to be on front when clearing up the wave. And I think that leaves the opportunity open for Danny and Shaw to give that poking potential, give that poking damage away from Flash Wolves, get that HP advantage even before a fight occurs.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're going to be hoping for Locking for that massive wave clear. It's just going to be relying on Locking. And if Locking disappears, possibly FENNEL adversity can open up for a siege, as they have, again, the Ziggs to take towers down incredibly fast, and as well as wave clear alongside with Danny on this Varus. And now, the most critical thing in this fight is how the Wind Wall will block the Chain of Corruptions. If that gets blocked, FENNEL adversity will only have to rely on Power for the Cataclysm engage. But again, he is busy dealing with Isera at topside, so Danny has to be careful.
Yeah. And I think if they don't block the Chain of Corruption, that's going to be amazing. But now, Shaw into the bot side of the map, that's going to be FENNEL adversity losing their mid laner. Flash Wolves gets Shaw down away. Ziggs is going to say bye-bye.
That's the perfect timing. 19 seconds without the mid laner. That means Flash Wolves can see if they can set up the dragon even more with vision. But so far, because FENNEL, or rather, Flash Wolves does have this Rift Scuttler already. So now that means they get to buy some items and then reset and get towards the dragon. We'll see though what FENNEL adversity responds because, you know, at this point, death timers are still pretty forgiving. So Shaw can still live another day and poke and see if they can get control over mid lane and poke away from choke points actually during the dragon take attempts by Flash Wolves.
Yeah, but look at Flash Wolves though. Gets a turret into the bot lane. That's going to attack for his blood. Gives them a 3k gold advantage up against FENNEL adversity. Huge lead coming from this team. And now FENNEL adversity is on a deficit. They need to create space. They need to get an Ocean Dragon to equalize this game.
Yeah, they need that Omnivamp for sure. Because looking at the gold lead, even though it's not as significant just yet, in the later stages, when it comes to execution, it's pretty straightforward for Flash Wolves. All they have to do is try to access the backline, get that set up, get those knockups, cask, body slam, shockwave, put that ball onto Eason. It's going to be easy.
Into the top lane. not gonna meet each other up against Doming, and so far, Sarah's just gonna clear out the wave and just gonna farm up top. No one's going for the Ocean Dragon.
Yeah, he's doing these things again because that means that's one less front line for FENNEL Adversity because Power is constantly busy there. So now FENNEL has to rely on this 4-man, and their 4-man is much, much weaker than Flash Wolves with their Xin Zhao, Yasuo, Orianna, and Gragas. This just big, big wombo combo. And the moment FENNEL goes near, they're going to be open for a setup.
Yeah, again for the bomb. Not going to produce a lot of damage because of the shield from locking. Now Wind Wall will actually disengage. Ocean Dragon will be secured by Flash Wolves. They're going in. FENNEL Adversity tries in for the Glacial Fissure. Will not connect though. And FENNEL will lose hope. They're going to go back, flash away. Flash Wolves will go home with a buy one, take one. Ocean Dragon and a kill.
Power going in.
Comes back in with a flag and drag, but he's going to pin down. Cataclysm to go back away. Not going to get that trade-off. FENNEL Adversity will lose that match, and that will be the 1-0 with the Ocean Dragon for Flash Wolves.
Really nicely done by Flash Wolves there. They knew that they can keep fighting. Doming, unfortunately, had that really small and sad attempt, I suppose, to get a steal, perhaps. But Flash Wolves, Bruce basically just hammering down his sword and eliminates Doming over there. And again, the execution coming from FENNEL Adversity in this type of composition is that they need time. They need time to poke, and that's the time that they can go in. Doming can finish off the kill. Plus, they need power for that Cataclysm against that 4 melee champions on the board to funnel all of the bombs, all of the piercing arrows into one area. And let's take a look at that again. There was an attempt. They needed more time. Danny was just landing pokes here and there, but again, it was just too late. Ocean Drake was already taken, so FENNEL Adversity basically had really no business overstaying their welcome as the disengage coming from Raffi was used for an engage.
Yeah. And I think it just really is so difficult right now because of how Flash Roll is built up onto a lot of these melee champions and quite a bit of a tanky champion as well. Isara under Renekton, Xin Zhao, and Cookie. So I think that's going to put FENNEL Adversity in a much more harder corner to bring this down, especially now Flash Roll is starting up the Baron Nashor.
Oh, they know this is happening though. We'll see if there's an attempt to steal. Nope. It's going to be hard. There's no Doming to steal. He was basically very busy at the bottom side of the map, so Flash Wolves, they're going to be using this to get that siege on, possibly form that 1-4. Isara with a split push, 4-man roam. Maybe Bruce going to be split pushing a little bit on the side. It is definitely doable, so we'll see how FENNEL. They have a lot of wave clear though, so they can slow this down, but looking at the items, locking is going to have Rabadon soon, so his shockwaves are now going to be painful.
Flash Wolves has the vision here, 3-man roam for FENNEL Adversity, but opts to back away. Flash Wolves is not going to go all in here into the bot side of the map, considering there are only 2-man roam for Flash Wolves to try and even defeat 3-man. So that's a good call for Flash Wolves.
They're just starving the resources of FENNEL Adversity now. A gold lead slowly tipping, well not slowly, after the Baron take, after the wins. Look at this, they want to go in? No.
No, Flag and Drag is not going to be successful for FENNEL Adversity, and Flash Wolves is going to take Tier 2 turret into the bot side of the map.
Very hard.
Good objective.
Yeah, very hard to collapse. Again, they're going to rely on power for this one, but he is definitely needed to see and deal with Isara time and time again, but that's just one less setup you need. Raffi is going to have to use his ult for engage, even though they need it for disengage whenever Flash Wolves will come in. Bot lane? Nope. Show's fine.
Yeah. They're not going to go all in here. Flash Wolves has the Baron Nashor. They're going in for the 2-2-1 type of setup. And we all know Yasuo is just too mobile to bring down. So I think that is what FENNEL Adversity is looking at. But so far, you have Tier 2 turret falling down to the mid lane. FENNEL Adversity trying to defend in top side. Glacial Fissure to go for the knockoff. Doming is now going to be CC chained. Follow up with the explosive cast disengage. And FENNEL Adversity will not be able to take the kill down. And Flash Wolves will continue their push. Gets the inhibitor turret.
And that is a lot being taken away from FENNEL Adversity. Even though they have a ton of wave clear, it is going to be a possible easy dive committed by Eason perhaps, or maybe even Bruce as a solo split pushing at the bottom side. That tower is going to go down super soon. Will FENNEL engage?
Will they? That's the question. FENNEL Adversity trying to run, but Flash Wolves trying to disengage. Power goes in for the Cataclysm, locks on 2. Locking will use up the Flash, but FENNEL Adversity are now scouring back. Too much damage from Flash Wolves. That's a warning. It's a warning. Bruce goes for the knockup. Last Breath will be available, but will not push through. Flash Wolves gonna be happy with 3 inhib turrets.
Yeah, FENNEL Adversity has heeded the warning of Flash Wolves, and that's the reason why they had to back away and retreat back to their fountain. This is a free Infernal. This is, you know, now that FENNEL Adversity has seen what the early game is going to look like for the sequence of games that we're having. Whoa, Raffi!
Oh, Raffi is gonna be the champion to actually try and defend here, but FENNEL Adversity will not be able to do so. He's gonna be too late. Flash Wolves, Chain of Corruption
Danny
gets the kill down onto Cookie. That will be the 1-for-1. Good trade coming from FENNEL.
FENNEL Adversity just wanted to slow down the pace a little bit because, okay, catch them off guard while porting back. I don't think, of course, oh dear, the Flash Clutch.
Yeah, it was a millisecond reaction coming from Danny there. Just saves his life.
Yeah, I bet he saw his life flashing before his eyes as Eason was easing over near him. Is that a word? I think that's a word. More.
That's a
if
word.
it's not, then more words to add to the dictionary, yeah?
Yeah. 2 words already in this game alone. Maybe more coming into the next games, but so far, the word to describe here is going to be one-sided as of yet. Flash Wolves currently at a 13k gold lead with 2 objectives in their pockets right now. All inhibitor turrets taken down. And FENNEL Adversity, I think, needs to go and steal up the Baron Nashor, because if they lose this, this might be the end game for them against Flash Wolves. Now, Shaw doesn't have any ultimate.
That is going to be very important later on once the Baron is going to get started. Well, I mean, it's at that point where this Mega Inferno Bomb is in a relatively low cooldown, but of course the Baron take is much, much faster than that. We'll see though if FENNEL Adversity takes another attempt at this, because bottom lane, it's pushing.
They're starting. FENNEL Adversity tries going for the contest, but too much defense coming from Flash Wolves. They're peeling down Glacial Fisher, but Flash Wolves will be able to take down the Baron Nash, and FENNEL Adversity will be forced to retreat. But Flash Wolves is not going to stop there. Bruce trying to catch up. That's going to be too much mobility, but slowing him down away will not be able to get more kills, but power will not be available to go for the defense. But Flash Wolves is pushed in all lanes.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. That's 30 seconds without power, without their primary engager here with a Cataclysm. It's going to be game over for this.
Mega Inferno Bomb tries to go in for the clear waves, but 2k HP remaining for the Nexus base. It's going to be over. Flash Wolves is finishing this as they take the first game of the series.
What a game number.